Hey friends, you've got Renee Rivera here at Mold Mending. You know, I was working on a project and actually picked up my Bible because I wanted to see something I wrote on the front of it. I take little notes and I like to write things that were impactful to me. And so I'm just looking for some words, and I came across this verse that I wrote on the front page. Let's see if I can lift it up. There's a whole lot of writing in there. I don't know if you can see it, but I do a lot of writing. But I just had this scribble in here about a verse, and it made me think about my healing. And those of you that might be struggling with something right now, health-wise, maybe you can relate to this, or maybe something else, a circumstance that's going on. But I'm just going to read it to you and explain just how it applied to me today, and it was an encouragement. So I have written here Ezekiel 11 verse 16. So in reading this verse, although I have scattered you in different countries, it says, I will be a sanctuary to you during your times in exile. Exile to me is like the difficulties through the illness, the mold illness that I'm dealing with, and the struggles that I've had to go through with trying to get to my healing. You know, I'm still in this healing journey. I'm not where I was 6 years ago, thankfully, being bedridden and having to flee from a mold-infested home that was killing me. I'm not out of the journey yet, or out of the woods. I would say that this illness is like feeling like I've been exiled, you know? So there, I related to that, but I'm reading this verse not because of the hard places I've been with this illness, but because of what it says, what God promised in there. He promised to be a sanctuary, and sanctuary is a good word. And that's like a refuge or a safe place. I know when I was younger, sanctuary meant the front of the church, but when you read the Bible, it's talking about a sanctuary being where God lives, where God resides, and doesn't have to be just a building. He wants to reside in us and give us that same experience in our life, not just when we travel to a building or to a church or something. And this promise to be our sanctuary during our time of exile, I have clung to that. You know, that sanctuary could equal refuge. It could equal, this is little notes I wrote here, refuge, a safe place, being a caretaker, and even being a promiser to provide and restore us. And so I would say that's exactly going through this illness and all the hard times of it. Leaning into God, Jesus, Father God, has brought a joy to me that I can't explain. It has brought a peace to me and has comforted me during this time of illness. And then in verse 17, it's talking about gathering us back from exile and saying that He will give us the land of Israel once again. So obviously I'm not talking about Israel or being scattered or being a nation, but there's a promise of being provided for and to be restored. And I know that God provides for us even in our hardships, even in these difficult times with health. We're still being provided for. He promises to be our refuge and a safe place. And I know when we're dealing with a mold illness, a lot of times we don't feel like there is a safe place. We wonder if there is one. We even wonder if our own home is a safe place to be. At the beginning of that journey, there's a lot of fear wrapped around it and a lot of safety concerns because we're just trying to get in, well, here's the word, in a safe place that is not going to harm us. And I am grateful that God can be a place of refuge, a place of safety, a place where we can exhale finally, relax, release, and be renewed so that we can continue the fight for our health, continue the fight for, chasing the good that is out there for us in our health and finding what's best for us. And then knowing that we can be provided for even when, say, our finances are strapped because of this illness and we don't know I don't know where that money's going to come from for that next car we need to get because of our car being moldy. I believe that God is still our provider through it, and He will give us ideas on how to work through situations, and even be a provider of certain situations. In fact, just friends that visited us on Sunday, they were in a great need of a car and found one. It was going to stretch their budget, and when they were going to go pick it up, the day before, the owners backed up into this car that they were going to sell them, so they actually knocked $1,000 off of that vehicle. And then when they showed up, they told them that there was some damage done and that they would knock that money down. But then when they showed up the following day, to pay that $1,000 less on it, they decided instead they ripped up the check and they donated that car to this couple. This was a huge gift, a huge blessing, and it provided for our friend's need as well at the time. So I believe God is a provider and that God is a sanctuary. And I hope that you can discover that for yourself, because that's what has helped me through this journey so far of my mold illness, going from what I remember saying in my very first video, hellness to wellness. And will give me the ideas and will give me the provision so that I do not go hungry. I do not lose having a roof over our head. He has provided, even when we became homeless, friends who provided a place for us to stay. So I can definitely say He's all of these things, a sanctuary and a provider. I'd love to hear how He has done that for you as well. And I pray that you can see that in your life as well. If you haven't seen it up till today, I hope that your eyes would be open to be able to see the places where there has been provision, the places where you have found refuge, the places and the times that He's giving you that feeling of safety again, and a place of safety, and even friends who you can feel safe around. Anyway, remember, be well, even while ill. Just wanted to share something that popped out today. Thinking of you all. Bye.